1. It means that they will take the point as far as the group standings are concerned, and it means, sadly for English fans, that England's Sudirman Cup campaign has come to an end. But as far as these two ladies are concerned, Jenny Warwick and Gabby White, they'll be playing for a little bit of pride here. Because just the women's doubles to come.
On court number 1, we have Kim Min-jun and Park Jung-eun from Korea.
Two of the players on court, their second match of the afternoon. Jenny Warwick, of course, in the mixed doubles, as indeed was Ha Jung-eun.
The umpire is Kim.
Oh, okay. Who is the first receiver?
I am.
Well,
Yeah.
So, 24-year-old Ha Jung-eun secured the first point for Korea in the first of the matches, the mixed doubles, when she was playing with Lee Young-dae and her partner here, Kim Min-jung. So Kim Min-jung and Ha Jung-eun, the number 17 ranked pair in the world, up against Jenny Warwick and Gabby White from England. World ranking of 17, as I say. 15-4 their win-loss record for the year, and that translates into winning the Swiss Grand Prix event and runner-up in the German as well. So 2 tournament finals already, having renewed their partnership, because of course Kim and Ha played together in 2007, 8 and 9. And of course, Kim Min-jung's had a very highly successful partnership with Lee Ho-jung. Gabby White's 20-year-old, born in Leeds but lives in Nottingham. World ranking of 28 with Jenny Warwick, and a negative win-loss record for the year. Won the Scottish Open last year. Fourth in the Commonwealth Games as well. The English pairing lost the bronze medal play-off match to a pair from Australia.
okay. Get ready, please.
First time that an English women's doubles pair had never medalled at the Commonwealth Games. Now, these two pairs have met each other once previously, but that was a couple of years ago. First round of the Malaysian Open Super Series event in 2009. And I think, in fact, all 4 players have improved considerably since then, but especially Gabby White, because she was just 18 at the time when they met each other. It was 2 straight games in favour of the Koreans. And Morton, I have to say, really, the Korean pair are, in my opinion, a different level of women's doubles. They can challenge in world terms, whereas I've yet to see that from the English combination.
Yes, I agree with you. On paper, that's definitely the case, and what we saw yesterday when the English pair played the Danish pair, they were not really in the same league, and the Danish pair, Camilla Juhl and Christina Pedersen, are not up there competing against the likes of the Koreans and the Chinese and so on. So, yeah, I agree with you. It looks like there's a long way up there, but you know, a match is a match. Anything can happen, and let's see how it is panning out in the beginning here.
Yes, and this is the sort of match that But I would like to think that Warwick and White are really relishing and saying, right, here's our opportunity to play against a top-ranked pair.
Yeah.
It's a one-off match. We can give absolutely everything to this. They're national champions. You know, you've got to really sort of... this is the sort of match that I would have loved to play.
Oh, but I'm sure that, you know, after a match like this, they have to sit down, winning or losing, saying, okay, what did we learn from this match today? They have to sit down, they have to analyze it, discuss it, and say, okay, what can we do to improve? What did we learn?
And obviously your comments, Morten, suggest to me that you don't believe that is necessarily happening enough on a regular basis.
No, I don't. I work with so many players at different levels and all that, and so often the players are saying that, you know, I just had a bad day. I hate when they say that.
Yeah.
That's the worst comment they can say. There's not such a thing as a bad day. You just have to learn from whatever happens, and the fact is that human beings are not machines, and it's ups and downs on regular days, and that's how it is. You got to fight with what you got on the day.
Yeah, it's wide. 7-love already in this opening game. And I have to say, I mean, I personally, and I hope this doesn't sound too harsh, but you know, a couple of years ago I looked at both Jenny Warwick and Gabby White and I thought, potential, both of these players. I don't think they've progressed in the way that I had hoped they were going to progress, and part of this self-analysis after matches is perhaps one of the reasons why they haven't progressed as I hoped they would progress.
Yeah, I think it was very obvious yesterday when we saw them playing the Danes that the attack is okay for women's double, but the defense is not strong enough. They get caught like that.
Yeah.
On not so good things. If they get slightly off balance, then having tried to get into position to play the defensive shots, they're too slow. They really do not get back into position. So in my book, they really have to work on their defense if they want to be up there and play with the best in the world.
Yes, I agree with that, but I would also emphasize that women's doubles, as you and I were discussing when we were watching the Chinese play women's doubles yesterday, that it is not a defensive game nowadays. The top players are all out attack, but unless you have that capability to weather the storm and steady in defense to then get yourself into an attacking position, you cannot win at women's doubles.
I totally agree. It's what I would call a necessity, isn't it? What you say?
Yeah.
You have to have it in your game just to be there.
Yeah. Yes, because I think a few years ago an awful lot of people just thought that women's doubles was all about defence, and it's not. To me, it's all about winning the rally. You can't just sit back and wait for your opponents to make mistakes, and the only way you're going to win the rally is by attacking. But you have to be able to stay in the rally initially by having a solid defence.
But that's actually so funny, because you know, when I do my coaching back home and all that, I'm obviously famous for my defense, and a lot of the players say, oh, then I have to play like you. I said, no, you don't have to play like me. Things have changed so much over the years, but it's a necessity just to be in the game, to be here today. You have to have a solid defense.
Yeah. It's well wide. So to the mid-game interval. Rather too quickly if you're an English fan. Just over 4 minutes of play. 11-3.
그리고 리시버 지금 그대로 쭉쭉 빼는 게 있지 하고 정원이 앞에서 올릴 때
Kim Moon-soo
올릴 때는 괜찮아. 올릴 때는 한 박자 늦추고 페인트 쓰고 반대로
Pretty happy
올리는
with
거.
them so far.
올려. 놓을 때는 그냥 그대로 놨어.
And it's an interesting thing to me with the
그 외에는 그대로.
Korean
응?
players,
Choose
Morton, the
말고.
fact that these two particular players played regularly together for 3 years on the world tour. They did very well indeed. I think they reached number 2 in the world ranking. They then get split up, both get paired with a more senior player. In fact, the two players that won the was it the silver medal at the Olympic Games? It was the silver medal.
Silver, yes.
Yes, and they spent a year playing with the more senior players, and having learnt from them,
And
they
then back together again.
back together again.
Yeah.
Great
but
learning.
Yeah, but it's a good experience. The thing is that the system in Korea can do such things. It will be so much more difficult to do that in Denmark or in England or in most places, I would say.
And the reason? Politically, you players have more of a say, and I want to play with the person I like playing with, and
the players have a lot bigger say in the Western world than they have in Korea.
Yeah. Very fair point.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah. That's gone long.
13.
And even throughout the majority of that rally, the English combination had the opportunity to attack, but they just weren't able to penetrate with their attacking play.
No.
Service over. 4-13.
Lucky to get away with that
Yeah,
cross-course defence.
Either it should have been a lot flatter or higher.
Yeah.
It was way in between, but she was lucky to get away with it. But I think the general idea was okay.
6-13.
So now it's changing a bit, and the English pair is getting much more into the rallies. Even though they lost the long rally they played just before, I still think that was beneficial to them.
Service over. 14-6.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
56.
Sky is on the drop shot.
It's clever to move the opponent and not just attacking the whole time, but move them out of position before attacking them. That's good interception at the net there.
Service
Jenny
over.
Warwick.
7-15.
Smash
Service
straight
over.
down the line. Gavin
16-7.
White found wanting because she was committed to that backhand defence.
There's a way out.
17-7.
Gosh, that was going for a very ambitious angle, wasn't it?
Yeah, but, you know, I think it was the right shot to play. I was sitting here thinking, okay, this is the opportunity. Go for the, play them the same place twice, 3 times, and it would have been a winner.
Oops, confusion. Oh, that was going out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a long rally.
Yes, and Gabby White. Well, I thought earlier on in the rally she was running out of steam. There was 2 or 3 clears from her. Maybe losing patience as well with the attacking play. Just 2 points from the opening game now. Korean pair. 19-8. Oh! Yes, large gap across court.
Game point 8.
Yeah, that's really well played.
Well, once again, where she
There's
was
a
struck-
massive gap.
massive gap.
Absolutely massive. Jenny was already moving away from the net, and yeah, and it's out.
Yeah.
Game.
21-9.
First game won by Korea.
The opening game.
21-9.
And Park and the English pair certainly didn't get off to the best of starts. 7 love the Koreans raced to. And from there, never really looked as if they had the belief.
To keep changing the shot.
Yeah, and any little things, sort of little pushes into a flat, just be ready. But I think the net, we can still get to the net as much as we can. So, but just be wary, and just,
you can
you
hear
know what we said
at home
sometimes
what's being
about
said here,
half
but
court singles work.
sadly,
Look after that side. Yeah,
Can't
so
hear
when you
what
rotate,
Coach Julian Robertson was saying.
maintain your discipline in long runs.
Nope, so we can't comment on it.
Because we want to be just as good as that.
Now, what will be interesting is whether we
Yeah,
give the
I'm
same
totally off.
same instructions or whether we're totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's coming through. They did one there, they made a mistake, so that's all right.
So
but first three, that's where we're good. So let's get on that and really impose ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, but don't give many easy points. Yeah, just stay on here. Stay on here for as long as possible. And if you do that, we've got a chance.
Robertson
Yeah.
using all of his allotted time to talk to his players. Very noticeable that the Korean coach, just a quick word. Yeah, very happy with your performance. Keep doing the same thing.
Yeah. Get it in the back. Seal it.
Yeah.
Second game. Love all. Play.
So the English combination, if they want to win this, they've got to up their game, that's for certain. That's good judgment. It's a long, hard-fought rally.
One love.
And the problem, I think, for some women's doubles pairs, when they do try and attack and they're not getting through with their attacking play and the rallies go on and on, there is sadly a tendency to lose patience.
Yeah. But it happens in ladies doubles, but I'm telling you, it happens in all the categories.
Yeah.
It really does. I think Nathan Robertson is a fine example of what you just said here in the mixed doubles today as well. Same thing.
Service over. 1-all.
Anthony Clark, same thing. Usif stuck with the guns and really played patiently and then played his chance and he won it. With this backhand did really well, I think, in what she was doing and played a very nice three-setter against a player normally far higher ranked than her. So, you know, patience really pays off. Consistency.
So good.
Yeah, that's good. Moving forward straight away. Saw the backhand was going to be played and moving in there. But again, in my book, she can get it.
Jenny Warwick should have still moved.
She can still get it. It's not far out in the corner. She could have got to it.
Is it a problem with the explosive movement off that base position when you're in the ready position? Are these two English players physically not strong enough in the legs to explosive power push off?
Exactly. They have to work on their fitness. But that's the most easy part of it.
Absolutely.
They got a lot of skills, they got a lot of understanding in the game. They just have to work harder.
Easy part and not really an excuse for it because, you know, they're both full-time players.
Absolutely. But it's just the way the game moves, and if you want to be in the game, you've got to be extremely fit. And with the fitness comes patience.
Yes.
Because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
2-5.
Because I think that was happening at the All England with the ladies doubles, the Danish ladies doubles, Line Kruse and Marie Røpke. They got to the semi-final. Obviously, it was so unexpected they did it. But the fact and how they did it was because obviously they played good badminton, but they were not scared of running out of steam. They were prepared to go the full distance, whatever that took. And that made a huge difference in their approach to the game. And they actually made the semi-final, beating some of the very best players.
And considering they were originally in the qualifying, that was phenomenal.
It was a good result.
Service over.
In fact, I think they went 3 games against a Chinese pair in that semi-final.
They did. They did.
They're really picking out Gabby White now. She's waited with that committed backhand defence, almost aiming towards the right shoulder.
Always aiming on her forehand side and knowing that the reply that will come is going to be a straight reply, if anything at all comes.
Yeah.
How do you not kill that in a phase?
8-4. Service over.
Yes, using the mid-court area well. Gabby White on that return of serve, making it very awkward for the front court player.
That's well placed.
It's a good smash, isn't it?
6-8.
Now I'm sure Jenny is unhappy that she made to receive his serve receive fought already.
Service
They're
over.
only 9-6, it was 6-8. So, it's 2 points, it means a lot. And you have to be solid again in your approach, not making the mistakes.
A number of times there, just blocking and turning the shuttle on the
Coming
defensive
in.
play.
As soon as the pressure is not great enough from the background of the court, the Koreans are storming in and blocking to the net.
Well, that's landed in. So to the mid-game interval with a 5-point advantage of the Koreans.
Interval.
Yeah, plumb on the line.
Try to feel like we've got to give it all.
Well, what would you be
Might
saying
have
to
just
the
to clear all
English
the
player
first
now?
one over the top, even if it's a clear. Yeah.
I think
Don't get involved in
the
flat
fact is
drives
that
at the minute, 'cause
they
they're
might
on
not
ground
win
and
this
they're on
match,
flat stuff,
but
they're
they
on.
have to take
So,
something away from this match.
either
They have to
block off
bring
or
something
go over.
away. What is
Yeah.
it that we will
Anything
learn
we
from
hit,
this match?
like
What is it that we
when
have
put
to
some
improve?
decent length and we hit
I
hard,
think it could be great, you know, if you take the match and you just sit down and you analyze it from A to Z. You say, okay, how many service mistakes have we made? How many returns mistakes have we made? How many defensive mistakes have we made? And, you know, adding up the whole statistics of the game and say, this is showing a clear picture of what we have to work on. And then, you know, take it from there and say, if we want to go up there and we want to play these guys, we have to improve on this.
Yeah. Well, I know full well that the English team camp have got a video on this match, recording it all. It's whether they take Morton Frost's advice and analyse in such a brutally honest way.
Oh, it can be very painful.
Yeah.
Same space again, the same place.
Exactly.
12-6.
Somewhere between the right shoulder and the right hip. It's just not coming back.
But again, I then think, you know, a partnership is a partnership. And Jenny must then know that she cannot lift that cross-court lift, knowing that she's setting Gabby up in a very difficult situation.
Yeah.
She then have to take responsibility and do straight lifts. So another one again, just from the other side.
I can't help but wonder at times, though, Morton, when I watch elite level badminton as this is nowadays, and of course all of these players have full-time coaches. You're a full-time coach yourself, and I hate to be one of those players that hark back to our day, but we didn't have the sort of support staff, and therefore we were made to think for ourselves. We had to think for ourselves. And sometimes I just wonder, in a match situation like this, of course the coach comes on at the mid-game interval, gives a few pointers, but whether there's the same analysis, self-analysis from the players that would help them within the rally, whether they're trained enough to think for themselves, and whether that's actually to the detriment of some players. Well, that's a pity, she just missed that.
A very good shot.
15-6.
I agree with you. It's a weakness of the new game, the new scoring system, and the coaches' much more involvement in the game as what it was in the past. Also, as you say, the systems are providing so much more support than what they did in those days. So I think there is a tendency to what you say.
Yeah.
Eight, 15.
That's
reaction.
really nice, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, we have maybe been a bit harsh when we sit here and we watch it and all that. But I think what happens, I'm not sure it's the right way of saying it in English, but I think, you know, talent is obligation here. You have an obligation to use your talent.
Yeah.
And these two English girls, they have great talent for playing badminton. And they really have to stick at it and work at it and really, you know, make it happen.
Yeah.
It's an obligation they have towards themselves and everybody else.
Yes, first and foremost, I think to themselves, because I think it's absolutely tragic for any athlete or anybody in any walk of life that looks back and sort of thinks, well, maybe if I just trained a little better or trained a little harder, I could have done this. Or, you know, you need to be able to leave the game, as indeed you did, and I believe I did myself, of saying, well, I got as good as I possibly could.
Absolutely. Can do no more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exposing both the English players that witnessed in forehand defence, both of them too committed to the backhand side, and once again set up with the cross-court clear or lift, playing their partners into trouble.
They're playing them into trouble, playing them weak.
That's well wide. Well,
20, match point.
straight points
8.
to take them to 12 match points. Yep, same place again on the smash, same result. So 21-9, 21-8 in the second game, and a very, very comprehensive performance from Kim Min-jung and Ha Jung-eun of Korea.
Match one by Korea. 21,
It is
9,
confirmation.
21, 8. Thank you.
Double quick time too. Of course, more importantly, that means that the overall match tie is 4-1 in favour of the Koreans. Only English victory today in the men's singles, and that really was a stunning result for Rajiv Usif against Park Sung-wang. Well, as you can see in the background, just one match still in progress. That's Germany against Japan. There is confirmation of what's happened in this Group D tie. Korea 4-1 victory over England. So England, who lost to Denmark 5-0 yesterday. Sadly for the English team, that's the end of their Sudirman Cup campaign for Korea and Denmark. They will battle it out to decide who tops the group. And of course it is important who tops the group, because the top of the group will be the seed going into the knockout competition. And there is confirmation that both Denmark and Korea have played one match each, and they've won one match each for England. 2 matches played, 2 losses, and therefore England depart from the double star BWF Sudirman Cup. But of course we will have plenty more action later today. We've got an evening session, highlights from the whole match. We've got an evening session at 1900 local time. It's Thailand against India, a Group 1C match. I'll be back from that. A little bit of time off. I'm going to be back with Richard Kaufman. So enjoy the highlights from a wonderful afternoon of play. In the meantime, from Morton and myself, Jill Clark, hope to see you a bit later. Bye-bye for now.